Hi, I'm Clever Ghoul, but you can call me Nikki. Welcome back to the channel. So recently Anthropologie released their Halloween collection, which included this amazing wreath. I love this wreath, but it's close to $200 and I don't have that kind of money. So I looked at it for a while and thought to myself, I could make that. So that's what we're doing this week. This is a pretty easy project, although I do have a different idea of how I would approach it if I did it again, which I'll get into. What you'll need is a wreath base. I got this one at Michael's on sale for $8. You'll need some black spray paint, Spanish moss, and glue. Now I used hot glue for this project, and I'll get into this more later, but I really think that maybe using a spray adhesive like Super 77 might have been a better choice to kind of flock the wreath. But again, I'll talk about that when we approach it. I would also strongly recommend doing this project outside. You'll obviously need to be outside when you spray paint, but the moss really crumbles up and gets everywhere. If I hadn't been filming this, I would have done this outside. This is definitely an outdoors project because the moss debris will get everywhere, like everywhere. So with all that being said, let's get into it. To start, I spray painted the wreath base with multiple coats of black spray paint. And then when it was dry, I covered it with a sealer because I know this is going to go against the wall and I just don't want any paint to rub off onto my wall. Next, I took out the hot glue and Spanish moss and started attaching that to the wreath. So basically what I do is I would carefully apply the moss, wait about 30 seconds, and then press it down with my hand onto the wreath. Definitely burned myself this way. So if you're doing this at home, just don't do that. And this is why I was saying maybe a spray adhesive would be better. If you just hit it with a dose of spray, take some moss, press it onto there and hold it down so it adheres, that'd be a much safer way of doing this. Almost like you're flocking the wreath instead of taking hot glue and burning your, just Super 77 is probably the way to go for this. Unfortunately, I didn't have Super 77 on hand, so I decided that I was just gonna continue with the hot glue. And once I got the moss all the way around the top, the inner, and the sides of the base of the wreath, I took it outside and hit it with a coat of black spray paint. Once the spray paint was dry, I brought it back in and started to attach the dangling bits on the wreath. And this is where things proved to be more difficult than I initially hoped for. I did get some chunks on the bottom of it hanging, but really the moss wasn't hanging right. It was too thin, too fine. It felt like a light breeze might just make it fall apart. So I decided at the last minute to look at Michael's and see if they had any foliage, which luckily for me, they were having a sale on fall foliage. So I got this grassy type of plant and whatever this Halloween one is. I spray painted the green grassy foliage black, brought it inside, laid it out on top of the wreath, and then hot glued everything in place. Which I guess means it's time for the reveal. So here's the end product. I'm still not sure how I feel about it and I still might add more dangling bits to it, but in order to get this video out this week, this is what we have. Again, next time what I think I would do is use a spray adhesive like Super 77 and sort of flock the wreath first. I would also get an additional can of spray paint because the moss really sucks it up. You can still see some of the green peeking through, but I kind of like how that looks in the end. But again, that was not my initial goal. So if you're gonna do this, I would say maybe get an extra can of spray paint just in case. Overall though, I'm pretty pleased with it, and considering the original wreath from Anthropologie is about $200 and this in total cost me less than $20 to make, I can't really be mad. It turned out pretty great considering. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye!